though, going through these draft scenarios, having Russ come on, break our hearts. I re-listened to that clip, by the way, and we both said "fuck you, Russ" at the same time.
Yeah.
That was perfect. But at 6, we found ourselves troubled, and then we started entertaining the idea of trading back with the Eagles. And there's been one man in this room who stood firm, and always wanted to make the pick at 6, and it is our very own young Chris Pilate from France, Mr. Pop's meat.
Pop stinky meat.
Pop Stankburger.
Yeah, Pop stinky meat.
Hey, yo!
He saw his hold firm on Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he wanted to introduce it by holding firm on Anthony Richardson, but there's probably a pause in there. But I maintain that the Lions should draft Anthony Richardson with the 6th pick, especially if neither of the 2 defensive studs are there, both Jalen Carter and Will Anderson, for many reasons. Obviously, Easy's 12% rule, which we'll get into at the end. But 10 out of the last 15, I said this yesterday, 10 out of the last 15 drafts, if you go back, the best quarterback is not the first quarterback taken. Quarterback is not a science when it comes to drafting. It is all about fit and development. And Anthony Richardson, we know all the flaws with him. We know that he has a lot of developing to do, but coming to a system like Detroit with a genius in Ben Johnson, with a opposite kind of quarterback to learn from in Jared Goff, someone who stays in the pocket and can help him refine that part, because we know outside of the pocket, AR-15's got it, and we got video proof that we'll be showing here. But you have to go with him because, again, you've built this whole culture. This guy loves football. And if you do it now, you open the door for trading Jared Goff for a future asset, something I know Lions fans don't necessarily want to hear, but look at what this regime has done with Jeff Okudah, with now we're hearing DeAndre Swift. Brad Holmes does not want to lose any asset for nothing. And if you draft a quarterback this particular year, you then have the ability to trade Jared Goff, assuming he's going to play great this year like he did last year, to a team for a very real asset in return, which then, I mean, at the end of the day, if you get a first-round pick for Jared Goff, then you didn't even lose a pick. Yeah. It washes. It's a shot worth taking on a quarterback that has all of the tools and capabilities of being a star in this league. And once again, the 12% rule that Easy brings up so many times, only 3 quarterbacks have ever broken that rule. Peyton, Mahomes, and Brady, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And 3 of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah,
Literally
three of the top 10.
Yeah.
And then combining that with 2 quarterbacks.
Come on.
2 quarterbacks in last year's draft class are the only ones. Kirk Cousins and Mahomes were the only ones last year in the playoffs with the 12% rule that had a salary over 12%. You know the answer is quarterback, and you have to take it. And I think Anthony Richardson is the guy you should take.
Bam.
That was
good.
Nice.
Why can't you do that? Yeah. Why can't you pitch like that to Elon in an elevator?
That was Chris.
I can now.
Good job, Chris. Very good job. Very well said. I don't agree with you, but very well said. You made some points that are hard to argue, but there are also points that you can make against Anthony Richardson that are hard to argue. Like, he can't hit an open receiver that's not 50 yards down the field.
Relax. I think that stuff a little bit overblown.
A little overblown?
Yes.
You see his completion percentage?
See the drops?
Yeah.
Look at this, man.
Look what
he can do.
There is some accuracy there.
Look what he can do. Look at this.
This is pretty stupid, honestly.
Yeet. Doesn't even look real.
That's him throwing flat.
Can you zoom it in more or no?
Yeah, I can. Just give me a second here.
That is Anthony Richardson throwing the ball flat-footed 65 yards, which is extremely. That's never the question. The question isn't his arm strength or his arm talent. The question isn't his athleticism or his mobility, because those are all off the charts, obviously. He's the most athletic quarterback to ever test in the NBA or in the NFL combine. Like, he was shattering records. He can throw the ball through the roof of the training facility. he can throw the ball 65 yards flat-footed, but it's the accuracy is what it is. It is, are you able to make the plays that are available to you that Jared Goff does? So he's like the opposite of Jared, like the complete polar opposite of Jared Goff.
That's a great point.
Like, Jared Goff makes all the throws that are given to him. He is great at delivering the ball from the line of scrimmage to I'd say 35 yards.
Yeah.
But once you get further and further down the field, it's not as great. Anthony Richardson's like the opposite. Like, obviously, Jared Goff is not a threat to run the ball at all. Anthony Richardson, extreme threat to run the ball. Can't deliver the ball too well in short or intermediate passes, and has a big arm. So it's a complete difference. And again, I'm not on the Anthony Richardson trade. I want Jalen Carter. If he's not there and Will Anderson's not there, I'd like them to trade back.
To be fair, I did start it with the two defensive studs are gone.
Yes.
And if that wasn't clear, I'm referring to Jalen Carter and Will Anderson.
What if CJ Stroud's there? What if they're both there?
I personally am the risk reward just because I believe in the culture that the Lions have set, and I believe in the skill set that Anthony Richardson has. But I wouldn't be mad at CJ Stroud either for all of the reasons. But I'd definitely be higher on Anthony Richardson than CJ Stroud.
Philip C says, put Goff and AR together. If you put Goff and AR together, that would be the best quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Jen. Goff and AR are the fucking final product of that.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
What do you guys think about that part of it? Me bringing up the idea of Jared Goff being a very opposite, and Spencer referenced it too, being a very opposite quarterback in terms of skill set than Anthony Richardson. Is that someone you'd want to develop? Remove the names. Is that a quarterback you'd want, or would you want a quarterback that's very similar if you're developing a quarterback to mentor?
You'd want the highest talent, because I see C.J. Stroud is pretty similar to Jared Goff, although he is more athletic and he has the ability to move out of the pocket. But it's not something that you'd shy away from just because he's not the same player as the quarterback you have. Like, Patrick Mahomes was not the same quarterback as Alex Smith. They're very different quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre are pretty similar, but it's not something you shy away from if you think that's your guy. If you think that's your guy, you go get him. I don't believe that they think that's their guy. I don't think the Lions think that Anthony Richardson is their guy, so I would be surprised if they get him at 6.
I think it could work out. I mean, I think those are traits that you want him to work on, right? So, like, that's probably why you could parallel it being a good mentor for him. Because the things that Anthony Richardson, it's like you said, he's the exact opposite. So, like, the thing that Goff is good at is what you would want Anthony Richardson to improve at. And I saw a couple comments, and I think it's Sue in the Woodward Sports chat, says, Richardson doesn't know how to read a defense, the inaccuracies, which I guess there's a legitimate conversation to be had about the inaccuracies. I think there are arguments to be, to look at. They're a bit overblown. I do feel a bit scorned on the Malik Willis stuff, so that's probably a bit where I'm hesitant. But I think you have the perfect scenario of sitting him for a year. It's the same thing with the Malik Willis thing. He's not a finished product. It doesn't look pretty. There's obviously reports the Titans are like
already out,
kind of like lost faith on him a little bit there too. But even him, he's only had the 1 year. And by the way, with him, it was always called a project. He was always a project quarterback. So the people like the rushing to like, I told you so, like, brother, he was a project quarterback. Again, not promising, but that's the same scenario with Anthony Richardson. It's just to a higher degree. It's a 6'4", 220-pound fucking super
tank. Just absolute tank.
Yeah, it's an absolute tank. And like I said too, like, you'd want him to learn from assuming maybe you'd want him to learn from a guy like Jared Goff because he's good at doing the stuff he's not good at. So he practices those habits. And then on top of that too, if you were to start Anthony Richardson, man, you're looking at a guy who's constantly going against man coverage because defense is going to have to stack the box because of what he can do outside of the pocket. I mean, there's definitely a plus side to it. For me, I got a little PTSD from the Malik stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. But if AR-15 was the pick,
I said the same thing.
At 6, was it on my camera?
I hope so.
It might have been for a brief moment.
Sorry.
I was looking through like real person. I wasn't looking at Easy's camera.
I saw her face.
Yeah.
She fire.
Either way.
Shout out to great mothers everywhere.
Oh.
Girl, you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
Here she comes. Thanks for interrupting the take, boys. All that for that.
She almost ate shit. No, I wasn't saying her ass. She's bad.
Yeah,
she's bad.
Yeah.
She's definitely a great mother.
I was in the middle of a fire ass take.
Sorry, man.
Come on.
Sorry.
I was looking at you, honestly, but
I was too.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame you. You
100%.
kept your comments to yourself. Perverts. Either way, back to what I was saying. He'll be facing man coverage.
Yes.
Because teams are going to have to stack the box. I mean, I think there's something to be said with AR-15. If Brad Holman wants to take the risk of him as early as 6, I'm all for it. You know how I am. If I connect the dots, it makes sense. The only guy I can't connect dots on is Tyree Wilson. That's the only one I'm like, fuck this. Fuck this guy.
What?
Not you, Tyree Wilson.
Oh, okay.
Why? Was there another one?
No, it was a dude, and I was about to
dude.
say something like that, but it was like this old man. I was just about to fuck with you a little bit. But
I don't know. I mean, hey, I'll put the phone number in the Woodward Sports chat. I do want to hear from our audience as well. It's that time of year where, like, we need you guys to call in. I need to hear some different opinions, different takes, because otherwise we'll get stuck talking about fucking, are you scared of Jordan Love? It's a quick answer for that one.
Yeah.
No. Fuck that guy. No. Fuck the Green Bay Packers. Fuck the Bears. Fuck the Vikings. Fuck anyone who thinks the Vikings are something to be scared of too.
I don't really hate the Vikings that much.
I don't really hate the Vikings that much either, but
I got one bar's the
Yeah,
man.
shout out One Bar.
one bar is a truth.
Nice dude.
Very nice guy. Vikings are like Minnesota's like the Canada of
Yeah, it's
United States.
Midwest,
Oh
hospitality.
yeah. Patty from Minnesota.
Yeah, we're from Minnesota,
Like that Trey Lance fella, yeah? What a weird accent. How the fuck? What are you?
Because they're basically, yeah, you're right. They're like the Canada of the.
They really are.
Yeah.
Damn.
We love hockey.
Of hockey, God and cheese.
Cheese, lots of cheese.
That's Wisconsin.